Close the camera on.
No, ma'am, your camera covered this.
Ma'am, camera खराब है. Oh, वो camera on है ma'am. ये camera on ही नहीं है.
अरे give it some time ना.
Ma'am, वो on ही नहीं है. So blue light नहीं आ रही है. So blue light.
कहाँ पे?
वो blue light आ रही है. वो on है. ये on नहीं है. बंद है.
यहाँ पे भी तो blue light है.
What is this one?
No, it's going on videos. Now you got the word.
Nelson Mandela.
We finished this in Mandela, no?
Yeah, all the questions said and I got it.
Ma'am, keep story. Ma'am, keep story.
मेरे भी लिखी है. मैं तेरे पास
Have you all signed?
Yeah. We just one class.
Okay. Engineering class. My bag.
If you don't forget.
Get back. दोनों का हाइट अच्छा मेरा तो नहीं पूरे क्लास के लिए
ग्रामर हम साथ में करेंगे भव्या के साथ और that we will do only when the month of June starts. अभी हम will go ahead with the text and when we have those 2 hour lectures then we have one class together for grammar. Month of June.
Oh,
that's the regular
game.
And I'm waiting for your.
मैच कर दिया कर तूने.
That's a. Is that an excuse now for
Yes.
not doing the homework?
Yes.
very much.
I'm waiting to check your homework.
Idiot.
अरे मैम ने बोला था ना अकेले सिद्धिका चेक करेगी.
अरे हाँ मैं.
No, I want to check your homework.
प्रीति का अगर इसने नहीं किया तो punishment.
I had told Ritika to remind me.
I was trying hard to because he got to finish it.
मैम punishment प्रीतिका को मिलने वाली थी.
No, I never said punishment.
Yes, ma'am. You said ma'am.
No, ma'am.
That is not you said.
Ma'am, no.
No.
I don't believe the camera's working.
I don't know. Tell Rekha ma'am then. Tell Rekha ma'am, no? Mukul, just tell Rekha ma'am, no, that I don't think the camera is working.
Ma'am, 8 street. Simple option.
Come on, I'm waiting. Why?
Print out. दुकानदार ने बताया कि
See, वो कुछ बताने नहीं वाली थी, वो मुझे रिमाइंड करने वाली थी कि तुम्हारा होमवर्क चेक करना है. I'm wasting my time. Come on, have you done it? So that I can tell Rekha ma'am to inform. Rekha ma'am, please inform his house that he's not been doing homework that. इसके पहले क्या था? या इसके पहले क्या था? पहले वाले लेसन से.
अभी बोलो मैम.
हम उसके पहले वाले के लिए क्या है प्रॉब्लम? वही लास्ट लेसन में हुई.
नेक्स्ट नाम टॉप है ना. आ जाओ ना. पीछे क्या है? करो ना.
नहीं मेरे को नहीं करना. मैम मैं आ रहा हूँ.
और पूरा बंद कर दो ना फैन.
क्या?
पूरा बंद कर दो फैन. एसी चल रहा है. तो इससे
मैम आपको गर्मी लग रही
एक
है.
पे रखा है एक एसी चालू है.
देखा.
ज्यादा क्राउड नहीं है. आप इसको इसको करना चाहिए.
क्या करना है जज?
नहीं
अभी करोगे तो अभी पढ़ेंगे क्या हम?
Higher and high.
ब्रेक
हमने बोला है.
मैम do that.
See, I usually do things in the class. You don't write the answers in the class.
हम ओनली वन
ये लाइन को सर जी.
तो वो एक ही उसी का ही
और ये नेक्स्ट कर देना.
उसको एक ही
I'm assuming you all write. I see you write. That means you write.
Yes.
यस मैम. ऑल
घूमने लगे.
You do footprints without feet today.
हम बट
please don't see the timetable. Because in timetable they go monthly. They have one standard, they go on putting that. I tell you what we are doing next. And I've told you we will not be doing grammar. We will be doing the second one.
Steve story is very interesting.
Only one textbook on one paper. You also don't have? तुम्हारे पास भी नहीं है?
Steve took his book.
Who sit behind?
I'm only on.
And they have two lines.
तुम मेरे बुक से देखोगे तो मैं कैसे पढ़ाऊँ?
And they have two lines.
Who sit behind them?
That is not allowed.
But he doesn't have a book. We have a book that.
You and Mukul come here. I will give one. I 3 benches not allowed. 3 people.
Yeah, you both can sit together.
3 people in one bench is not allowed.
See, bro, you can go ahead.
Okay. Thief story. Have you ever stories written by the very popular author Ruskin Bond? Have you read Ruskin Bond's stories?
Yes.
You all have?
No, ma'am.
You? Okay. If you have not, then you should.
Adventures.
Adventures of
I also read that.
I have got to read.
Last year you had no Adventures of
Yes.
Yeah.
Not first chapter. First chapter is God's time.
Okay.
Second
So,
chapter.
come here, no? Both of you.
Second
Move
chapter.
ahead, no? Yeah. Third bench.
Too jolly go ahead. You go there.
Ruskin Bond, very popular Indian author. No, he doesn't claim himself a British Indian author. He is an Indian author of British descent, you can say. So he is an Indian author and very popular. And his stories are the main reason for his stories for being popular is it is all based in India. His stories are based in India. His characters are Indians. He has introduced this something called mixed code. Mixed code means you can say, made it popular. He has all Indian words, Hindi words, Maidan, Maidan is a very commonly used word for him, or the pajamas he was wearing, and these are the
Instead of
typical.
veranda, he uses veranda. He uses
Yeah.
veranda in his. I've read two.
So these some typical Indian words, that we use in English was very commonly used by him. See, mostly when you read English stories or English poems written by the English authors, they talk about the winters, they talk about the fall season, something we cannot relate to because we don't have fall season in India. So yeah, we don't have autumn. We live in this hot climate. We have hot summer throughout the year, and maybe in some parts in the north they have cold winter, but not most of India. We don't relate to most of those words, those names, the scenario that they create. But that doesn't happen with Ruskin Bond. He uses Indian words, Indian names, and therefore his stories we get easily connected. We can connect to his stories. So. And he wrote children's stories. Very, you can say, you must read Ruskin Bond. The stories are written in simple language, very easy to understand.
Family friendly stories.
Yeah, you can say. The theme story is again a story of this young boy.
Anil and
There are two characters. Anil and
Singh.
Hari Singh.
Hari Singh. That's it. Okay. One is Anil. The other one is.
Ma'am, Hari Singh is a fake name.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Who's Anil?
Anil is that boy.
That boy as in.
Who gives job to
Hari Singh, the thief.
Okay. So can't be a boy, no? When
man.
yes, you're a boy.
But not a man also.
So,
Yeah.
He's 25.
so he's the person who crosses 18 becomes an adult, and the minute you become an adult, you become a man. Okay, you know, young, 20-year. You can call him still boy. As long as you study a low, keep it there. तुमको अंदर जाके बैठना है तो वो सेकंड बेंच पे जाके so you can say the minute you finish your graduation you become a man more or less. You're expected to behave like a man. You can't expect it behave like a boy. He's still a child. Okay, you all are still in the children's category. You all are still in the children
You.
category.
No.
No.
I'm mature.
Do you want to sit in the class or you want to go and sit outside? So we have two characters. Anil. Anil is the one who's telling the story. Is he telling the story?
No.
Hari.
Hari Singh.
Hari Singh is telling the story. Anil is the one who he meets him
Side character.
and he decides to give him a job.
He will teach you.
And it's a very interesting story as how they meet and then how Anil agrees to give him a job and how Anil takes care of it.
Even
What
teach him
He
to write.
Hari, yes, teach him to write. Hari Singh was not a random character. Hari Singh was actually a thief. He was a petty thief. And he thought Hari Singh was an easygoing person and easy to cheat. And therefore he tries to get a job at his place. And of course he was a thief. So he decides to steal from him once. So does he steal from him and does he run away? Or what happens? Is the story. A very nice story. The thief's story. Page 8. I was still a thief when I met Anil. Who's saying that?
Hari Singh.
I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. I was a successful hand means
Successful thief.
I was a successful thief. I was very good at my job. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. How old was Anil?
25.
How did he look?
Very simple.
Tall,
Lean.
lean fellow.
Simple.
Tall, lean, and simple. He says, simple enough for my purpose. What is?
Easy going.
What was his purpose? To steal.
Steal.
So he was Hari Singh was a thief. Shayad Raste. You know, probably he lived on street all his life. So they become very smart in knowing who's what, whom they can dupe, whom they can cheat, whether this man is smart or he's just a simpleton. So they look very easygoing, simple. You know, there are some people who laugh, talk with everyone, and so people think he's a very easygoing person, so he must be really easy to cheat. I hadn't had much luck of late, and though I might be able to get into the young man's confidence, this sentence is half. आगे का print भी हुआ है क्या? Okay.
Confidence.
I hadn't had much luck of late. He hadn't managed to steal much of late. Okay.
You look a bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little.
Flattery.
helps in making friends.
Okay. So पहले ही उन्होंने description दिया होगा. But how old was Hari Singh?
25.
Hari
Sorry,
was
15.
How old was Anil? 25. How did he look?
Tall, lean,
Similar.
easy to work with.
Tall, lean, easy going. He wanted to gain his confidence. Okay. He thought Anil is easy going, easy. इसको हम, I'll be able to cheat him. So he went and stood next to him. What was Anil doing?
Watching.
So he goes and he looks at Anil and tells him, you look a bit like a wrestler, huh? You look a bit like a wrestler yourself. Like I'm telling him, you look a bit like a wrestler yourself. So,
Same situation.
why? Yeah. Because he says a little flattery goes a long way in making friends. किसी को थोड़ा flatter कर दो, मस्का मार दो, yes. Praise कर दो, so it goes. Hey, you're looking pretty today. The girl will immediately smile and you both can start talking. That's an easy way to start a conversation. So, what was
So do you, he replied.
what was Anil's reply? So do you. तुम भी बड़े अच्छे wrestler लग रहे हो. Even Anil, Hari must have been a thin, lean, young fellow.
He replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Even Hari Singh was thin.
So they both are joking.
Exactly. Hari Singh is rather, you look like a wrestler. Huh? So he turned and looked at him, even you. Hari Singh did not know, अभी मैं आगे क्या बोलूँ इसके. So it's not that Anil, I do exercise, ऐसे कुछ अनिल ने बोला होता तो वो आगे उसको और चढ़ाता. मगर Anil looked at him and he said, so do you. So Hari Singh was like shocked, flustered. अभी आगे क्या बोल रहा है? Go ahead.
Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle
Wrestle
a bit. What's your name? Hari Singh.
If you look at my face, how will you understand the story? You need to look into the book while he is reading. इसलिए तुमको समझ नहीं रहा है कि whether this dialogue is said by Hari Singh or this dialogue is said by Anil. So please look into the textbook.
Hari Singh, I lied. I took a new name every month that kept me ahead of the police and my former employers.
Employees.
He's
15-year-old. And what was his name? Hari Singh. What was it his real name?
No, you
No.
have a new name
It can be
Every month?
He was not having any real name only. He was not having his own name only.
He took new name every month.
So what is this?
Why?
To escape. Because he wanted to stay ahead of the police and
So police can't catch him.
his former employer.
Exactly. He was a thief. So every time he would take a new name. क्योंकि पुराना name तो ढूंढ रहे the police would keep searching for their old name, no? And therefore, if last month he was Ramesh, today is Hari. Because he had stolen from somebody's house and they were searching for Ramesh.
Another day is
Next month, after he finishes his job, it will be something else. It will be Kunal or Ram or it will be something.
Would he know? Would he even have a name?
He would. Something that people have started calling when he was
secret
a child.
identity.
Yeah, he seems like one to never have a proper.
Often, he was probably an orphan, but people must have started calling him something, right? When he was a baby. And that sticks. Chotu. That's why so many are Chotus. You know? So Chotu, which is image with when they are on the street and maybe somebody started calling him Chotu and that will remain with him. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. Go ahead. Read.
After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were flirting,
Grunting, lifting.
and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed quietly.
I followed casually.
Hello again, he said. I
Who's
gave
that
him
man?
a
Attendance. Pass that attendance. Has everyone signed? Girls?
hello again, he said. I gave him my most
Appealing smile. Most appealing smile. Most sweet smile. Yeah.
I want to work for you, I said, but I can't pay you.
Okay. He went there and gave him a most appealing smile. And he said, I want to work for you. He said, I can't pay you. Anil said, I can't pay you. Read.
I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. I asked, can you feed me? Can you cook? I can cook. I lied again. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. He took to his room over the
Jamna sweet shop.
Jamna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just
Hung around.
smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing.
Okay. So what happened? Hari Singh went to Anil and he said, I want a job. He said, I can't pay you. So Hari Singh was surprised. Have I misjudged my man? Is he not really well off? So he said, can you feed me in that case? Anil asked, can you cook? He said, yeah, I can cook.
Sure.
So he said, if you can cook, then I will feed you. Then I can feed you. So he said, come. If you don't have any place to go, come with me. He took him. Now, that really tells Anil was a really easygoing person. A boy he met on the street comes and tells him, I want a job. He says, I don't have a place to stay. He says, can you cook? He says, yes. He says, come, I'll feed you. So he takes him home. And does Hari Singh cook a wonderful meal? How do you know?
Because he
gives the straight
Straight off. That night, obviously, Hari Singh had lied. He couldn't cook. Whatever he cooked, Anil couldn't even eat. He gave it to the stray dog and he said, Baba, go. You can't cook.
That was because he's not a well-known person. And then he's giving the food to the straight dog.
That means it must have been really bad. It must have been really bad. Even if you're not a well-to-do person, you can eat decent food. Okay, so simple dal, chawal can be tasty, even if you are not a very well-off person. So he gave it off to the stray dog and he said, please leave. Did Hari Singh leave?
No, he just hung around.
No, he just kept there smiling in his most appealing way. Please, I cannot call him. And Anil started laughing. Okay. Later,
Later, he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve.
now, Hari Singh kept smiling. Anil also laughed and he said, say, I will teach you to cook. He taught him to cook. He also taught him to
write his name.
write his name. And then he taught him to write his name, said he would teach to write sentences and add numbers. So he did not only keep the boy at his house, he also taught him to cook food, taught him to write his name, and promised to teach him to write 4 sentences and add numbers. And Hari Singh knew Once he learns to read and write like
He's
an educated man, there will be no limit to what he could achieve. See, he had lived on the street and survived and managed to survive for 15 years. So he realized that that is without knowing anything, without not, not knowing to read and write. He had managed that. And if he learns, and if he becomes an educated man, with his street smartness, he can achieve. He was already a street smart.
Some
He could achieve bigger things. Yeah.
when this does achieve means like he's going to continue the same job.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Probably he would do bigger frauds. Maybe he thought he would do big,
That's
big
probably.
or we don't know. Or a decent life. A
Loans.
decent life, maybe. Maybe a decent life.
Because it means that because even himself has thought this isn't the right profession.
Everybody knows, everybody who's on the street and stealing knows he's not in the right profession.
So he could have thought that he would.
Yes, he will get a better life. He can get a better life once he reads and learns to read and write. Yeah.
It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time to buy the day's supplies, usually making a profit of about ₹1 a day. I think he knew I made a little money in this way, but he did not seem to mind.
He was a very nice person, a very easygoing person. It was not easy to work, but pleasant working with Anil. He would make tea in the morning, then he would go to buy the day supply, sabzi or जो कुछ चाहिए वो, and then he would give चलो ये 100 रुपया सब्जी लेके आना, and while coming he would keep at least a rupee or two with him. Anil knew
Yes.
he never said anything. चलो ये रुपया रख दिया रख ले. Continue.
Anil made money by fits and starts. He would borrow 1 week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a pure way to make a living.
So he says Anil made money by fits and starts. He didn't have a regular paycheck, on and off, at regular intervals. He would get money at regular intervals. So there would be time when he would have no money, he would borrow from his friends, and then
There would be time he would lend money to the people.
there would be times when he would get money, he would even easily lend money to his friends. He would go out and celebrate. He was a very carefree, easygoing person. So he worried about his next check. Every time he was worried about his next check. What did he work as?
He was a writer for the magazine.
He was a writer for a magazine. And for this young boy, he thought a clear way, what an unusual way to earn money. Who writes for the magazines and earns money? Hari Singh did not know. Wait.
One evening, he came home with a small bundle of clothes, saying he had just sold
Yes,
a
sold.
book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door, and I could have come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met, and that is why it was so difficult to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it is difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he's been robbed, and that makes all the pleasure out of the work.
Okay. So one evening he came with a bundle of clothes. He had enough money. How did he
Sold
earn
a
and sold the book?
book.
He was a writer.
Basically, he was
So he
writing
owned
a book and he sold the
book to a publisher. So he got good amount of money. Where did he keep?
He kept
There
it
is
under his
a
mattress.
mattress.
He kept it under his mattress. You see, noticed it. He said, this is the time. But he says Anil was a very trusting person. He had given him keys. रास्ते से उठा के लेके आया था वो हनी सिंह को, and he gave him food, let him stay, started teaching him. And he was a very trusting person. And he says, when a person trusts you so much, it's difficult to wrong him, cheat him. And he says,
चोरी करना है
चोरी करना तो गलत बात है, लेकिन
नहीं मतलब इसमें तो तुझे चोरी करना ही है बाकी चोरी होती
Sorry.
Luxurious life, he was happy with the money he was given.
है कहने का मतलब कोई चोरी वोरी करना ही क्यों है मेरी फैसिलिटीज मिली है
हरी सिंह, हरी सिंह को बोल रहे हो तुम, हाँ हरी सिंह, मगर हरी सिंह knew that is how he had survived. You know, it's not that he is going to live a luxurious life. उसको तो दो वक्त खाने की चिंता थी. You know, he had no other skill. He had no parents to look after him, no skill to work. So this is the only thing he could do as a say 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. What would you do when you know nothing? So that is what he had, that is what he knew, and therefore he was doing that. So it's easy for us when we sit here in our cozy houses, all protected, to be judged, to judge others. It's easy for us to say, but the one who is there, a child who has no other means to earn money. See, when you see some small children earning, working, selling, what do you say, the gajra and on the roadside, there is somebody who's at least kuch starting ka diya unke. You know, probably Hari had no support all his life. Nobody ever gave him any support, so he was just surviving on his own. So here he says it's difficult to rob. First time Anil had trusted him. He was such a trusting person. He says it's easy to rob a greedy man. Greedy होता है ना उसको, it's easy to rob him. Because
Is it for the sense of satisfaction?
because he can afford to be robbed. That's what he says. Like, you know, he is such a he is a what?
Like he will then even he would expect he will give satisfaction to see
Yeah. And he is see simple. If you're talking, if you tease someone, and if the friend doesn't get upset, तो कुछ मजा ही नहीं आता. Tease करने के बाद अगर कुछ reaction आया, तभी मजा आता है ना? अगर वो शांत बैठा है, तो क्या मजा? ये react नहीं कर रहा है. And you always tease and fight with the one who will give you reaction. When you do something and then teacher starts scolding, it's more fun. है ना? एक तो आधा घंटा चला गया, teacher will give a good lecture. But if the teacher doesn't get any reaction, there's no fun. There's so many times children do things purposely, just to take a reaction, get a reaction from people around or from the teachers many times. So that is what he's saying. It's easy to greedy man. मजा आता है. वो already greedy है, उसका पैसा चुरा रहा है. क्या मजा है? He's such a careless. You wouldn't even notice कि उसका पैसा गया है. Well, did you read the last paragraph?
When it's time and it's a real, I told myself, I'm out of practice, and if I don't take the money, he'll only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay.
यहाँ पे Hari Singh tried to justify. It's better I do my work. He's not going to take care of me all my life. It's been for quite some time I haven't done my real work. What was his real work? Robbing people. So he decided. And anyway, if I don't rob, anyway, he's going to go and spend it and waste it on his own friends. So बाहर जाके he'll enjoy. Rather, let me steal it and enjoy myself.
Anila was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat upon the floor, considering the suggestion. If I took the money, I could catch 10:30 special exam. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were honestly scars.
Mostly scars.
Mostly scars.
So, अभी यहाँ पे the author is setting the stage. And he was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. So he went, sat up on the floor, and he started thinking, if I steal now, what was his plan?
He would take the 10:50 express.
He would take the 10:30 express to
Lucknow.
Lucknow. Let me run away. Let me take the express to Lucknow. So I'm off. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Came out of his blanket and went near the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. There was no marks on his face. He said there were more marks on. Hari Singh says there was more marks on his own face. What were these marks? Mostly scars. Why were there scars on his face?
Because she could be catched by robber.
Caught during robbery. Yes, probably. He would have caught by the police. He must have got caught by the owner and must have been beaten. Must have gone into the fights on the streets, and therefore there were mostly scars on his face. On the contrary, Anil's face was quite clear.
My hands slid under the blanket, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his back towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my vest, held in there by the string of my pajamas. I slowed down to walk and counted for the notes. Counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two.
Okay. He managed to slide in his hand, take the notes, and he ran. He came on the street and then he counted. These were 50 rupees notes. How much in total?
600.
600. Wow, 600 rupees. I will live like an oil-rich Arab. An oil-rich Arab for a week or two. For more than a week or two, I will live a very, very luxurious life. Now, mind you, the story was definitely written in 1970s, maybe. Okay, it's an old story, and therefore 600 rupees had value then. Huh? No, around 10,000 you can say, 600. 70, 80, 80s maybe.
So 10,000.
Because in the 70s, you could get groceries for 5 rupees. That's a lot of money.
Exactly, 5 rupees.
Like that, the history tells me.
So-
Like, my dad was born in the 70s. The groceries were 5 rupees. If you wanted nice ones, you would get them for 10.
Okay, for a day.
Yeah.
For a day, yeah. So, this was a decent amount probably then. In a small town, yes, far decent. If it's a small town, then this is a far decent. You live in a big city, you have other expenses. Everything is expensive. There's a difference, no? That's what kind of money you spend in Mumbai and the kind of money you spend in a small city, small town. वहाँ पे चीजें काफी सस्ती होती हैं. Let's go on.
When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out.
Okay, 1 minute. Are you still hung up on that oil-rich Arab? 600, 10,000 में कैसे oil-rich Arab?
No,
See, you have to compare the amount of money he has got to a street boy getting it. So the kind of money you will spend and the kind of money he would think of spending, there's a difference. For him, luxury is different. For you, luxury may be different. So there, it's oil-rich Arab for him. उसकी imagination में जो है. Yeah, read.
The train had to still pick up the speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. But I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain. And I lost the chance to get away.
Okay. Our Hari Singh reached the station. The train, he had never taken a train, so सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता है कि वो खड़ा होके ट्रेन के लिए टिकट लेगा. So he straight went to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving up, and he was an expert. He knew how to get into the moving train. The train had still to pick up the speed, and he would have easily got in. Did he get in? No. But
Hesitated.
for some reason, he hesitated. He hesitated. The minute you hesitate, you can't take a leap, jump into the moving tree. Some reason he hesitated and lost his chance to get into the tree.
When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. And I did not want to make anyone curious by standing at one of the small hotels near the station.
Okay. Why were friends more trouble than help?
Because the more people that know what you're doing, there are more mouths to tell the police.
Okay. The minute you tell your friends, you go to their friend and they will always obviously ask, Arey, you had the employer, no, why are you not staying with them? And they would know if you are running, that means you have stolen. If you have stolen, that means you have to give a share. Either you have to give a share or somebody will leak the information to the police. So friends were more of a trouble for him than help.
The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear. The rich man showed anger. The poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness. Not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust.
And when he started walking back, he didn't know where to be. The only person he knew in this town was Anil. He had robbed him. Now he says in his short career as a thief, he had made study of men's faces. You know how each one reacts. He says the greedy man showed fear. "Arey, paisa chala gaya, kya hoga?" You know? And the rich man showed anger.
Yeah, that was my
Money and how could somebody take it? Like how did I get robbed? Poor man showed acceptance. Poor man is so bogged down by so many problems. Like, what to do? Probably
This was meant to happen.
meant to happen. My destiny. He showed acceptance. He realized Anil's face. There will be only sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. He had trusted this small boy. He had taught him to cook, to read, to write. And he thought that he will feel sad, not so much for losing money, but more for losing trust.
I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin, and a cold wind blew in the rain across my face. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes; they were damp from the rain. Anil's money in the morning he would probably have given to me.
Given me to
He would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. But now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar or learn to write whole sentences anymore. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences I knew could one day bring me more than just a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal, and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write.
okay. So here he went to the bazaar and sat down. Where did he sit?
Under the clock.
Under the clock tower. What was that time?
It's midnight.
This midnight clock tower is in the bazaar. Many times they have this tall tower and the clock on top. You know, when it shows time. If you ever go to Masuri, when the bazaars they have, there was a clock tower. So he sat under it. He checked. The notes were wet because of the rain. And he felt sad that, Anil's money. Then next day he would have given him some a rupee or two, and he would have gone to the cinema that day. That would have been the fun of that day. Now he had all his money with him. And suddenly he realized, "Arey, now I cannot go and cook food for him. I cannot make tea for him. I cannot go to the bazaar and do the grocery for him. I cannot even read and write." He used to come home. After coming home, sometimes he would teach me how to write my name. He had also promised to teach me to add numbers. And then he realized he never get to do that. He realized that it's easy to steal, but and some and many times he will steal, he will get caught, he'll get beaten up, and then he will start again. But to become a really big man, a clever, respectable man that you become when you learn to read and write or educate because of education. It's a different kind of, you know, living altogether. And he suddenly realized that he lost his chance to lead a respectable life. You lead a respectable life when you are educated. You can't have that kind of life if you're not. He was just on the street. What can he do? Only steal? How often will he steal? And that's not a respectable to cheat and then run away and be in hiding. That's not a respectable life. And he suddenly realized that he lost his chance to lead a respectable life. So, what did he do?
I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is so much easier to steal something than return it undetected. I opened the door quietly and stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Anil was asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt it fret on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. I awoke late next morning to find Nandit had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was 50 notes between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now we will be paid regularly. My spirits rose, but when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Today we will start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in the most updating way, and smile came itself by itself without any end.
Yes. So he went back and he kept the notes. He says it is easy to steal. What is more difficult? Why don't you go wash your face and come? Next time, children, please bring your own textbooks. Just 2 textbooks. You need to bring 2 textbooks only. Not that you have to bring all 8. What is your excuse for not bringing?
I had.
You had? You didn't have?
I also have. It's in my bag. Let us share.
But why?
My final utensils will cover this to me.
I would have given that book to her. और कौन है ऐसे जिसके बैग में you have a book?
My final utensils will take cover
घर पे लगी नहीं
I placed my notes.
really give me
तब मैं क्या?
थोड़ा पूरा लिखो नहीं हमने सोचा था पूरी नहीं
सोचो मत.
The first place you check is the
So small.
तुमने देखा तुम्हारी बैग
Check them.
When do you have a book? Tell me.
Ma'am, only last time I imported. Before that,
कुछ भी मैम हर एक क्लास में है
Ma'am, I have marked
क्लास पे मिला
तुमने लाके क्या किया?
एक काम करो एक तुम्हारा इंग्लिश का बुक है ना नोटबुक यहाँ पे हाँ उसके लास्ट पेज पे आज की डेट लिखना उसके पहले क्या डेट थी आज की डेट क्या है टुडे 16 हाँ लास्ट डे 11 नो 9 right 9/5 notebook
That's
पिछले बार तो ये तो ऐसे भी मिला है
that's
right okay then और कौन से नहीं लाई थी last time
इसके पहले भी नहीं थे
that's about it.
नहीं
आज की डेट लिख दो 16
नाम तो अच्छा हो
okay
गया
Daksh what is your excuse for not having a book
Now I have a book, it's in my bag.
absent है तो क्या यही तो दो बुक से सिखाते हैं हम लोग और पढ़ते क्या है
I have a book.
That's sad.
Daksh कुत्ता भी लिखना
हाँ, उतना करती है.
I have a book, it's in my bag.
Bro, last page भी नहीं था, first page.
No, what if I have a book?
First
On a bag. Hello, G.
okay no
Crystal दूर है bro, उसकी बीमारी transfer हो जाएगी.
okay so he says that it's easy to steal but what is more difficult
To
to
come
come
back
back
and
and
get
get
it.
your money and accept your
and to
mistake.
keep the money back undetected why is it difficult
I mean, we never know.
who
I mean, he might have caught him.
yeah actually he's trying to keep the money but if Anil gets up if he will stay stealing you understand he's actually stolen but he's now trying to keep it अगर वो अंदर हाथ डालेगा रखने के लिए हाथ डाल रहा है लेकिन अगर अन्य तभी उठ गया तो he will think that he चोर he's trying to steal so he's actually trying to be good but he might get caught that was a very risky thing to do
And you would have
Yes.
said, cool.
he went there he kept it and went back to sleep next day when he got up did he make tea for Anil
No, Anil
No,
made it
he
himself
woke up
and he
late.
handed him a 50 rupee note.
yeah when he got up Anil had already made tea and gave him a cup of tea and also gave him 50 rupees Anil already had a cup of tea he was drinking tea and gave him 50 rupees and said he made some money yesterday and he'll get paid regularly. And then he told him that what will they do?
They will start writing down the sentence.
And he
Then-
regularly paid.
Yes. When he took the notes,
It was wet.
it was wet. So Hari Singh realized
That Anil
that
knew.
Anil knew. But he says neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. And I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way. And this time the smile came by itself. Otherwise, I used to fake that very sweet, appealing smile. This time it was genuine. Why?
Because he truly felt happy that he would get paid and he did not get caught.
Was he happy because he did not get caught?
No,
He
he
was
was
Yes.
happy to hear.
Yes.
He was
Yes.
happy. He did get, he knew he had got caught because of the red notes.
He was happy that he was
He
not.
was,
He's forgiven.
he was happy that Anil was a good, kind person and he did a right job returning his money and deciding to stay with him.
Basically, he was pleased with himself because he did a good thing last night.
Was he pleased with himself?
No, he was
No.
The appealing smile was because I did a good job, good I came back.
No.
I think so.
It was because he
It
was
was
good
because he
and
was
he
going to learn.
right answer.
Was going to educate.
He believes that him coming back to learn to read and write was a good decision because now he'll get regular payments as well as learn to read and write. It was mostly
It
sentiment.
was not.
No, no, get an answer.
Yes.
He was happy because he had found Anil how good he was, and he had found a person who is understandable and a kind person who could help him ahead, and he did a good job returning his money to him and making a decision to live with him.
इतना ही उसको उसकी kindness पसंद थी तो he wouldn't steal in the first place. He's pleased with
उसको इतना
himself.
थोड़ी पता था कि वो इतना
regret कर रहा था ना वो.
अरे तो he's
What is the moral of the story?
don't steal.
हैं?
Please don't steal. You
The
will get
moral
caught.
is you should be calm in every situation and learn to forgive.
Be calm.
Basically,
क्या देखो
education.
When you did the bad things, don't restart at the rest.
There is always time to return to good things, and you can maybe correct your mistakes if you realize them the right time.
Is this story of Hari Singh or is this story about how
It's Hari Singh.
It's
The story is about
No, Hari, I am Hari Singh.
See this? Okay, you're right, but you know what? That appealing smile was not. Hari Singh was not happy with himself. Hari Singh was genuinely happy for Anil's kindness.
I said,
Yes, you did say. This story is about giving second chances to everyone. Hari Singh was a young boy. He was, it's easy, as I kept saying, it's easy for us to say, why steal? Yes, you shouldn't steal. But yet, everyone makes mistake. When you make a mistake, every time you don't have to pay for your mistake. Every time it's not necessary that you must get punished for your mistake. Sometimes kindness can change you more than punishment. See here, imagine yourself. If you are in Anil's position and you know this boy had stolen from you, what would be your reaction? Had stolen your money. What would be your reaction?
You would confront him.
Confront him, fire him, scold him, take him to the police. That would be the general reaction.
no, but
Okay, you would have said, I know you have stolen my money, but that's a very wrong thing to do. Don't do it.
I love
But
how
the best
everyone
thing
has
is
moving perspectives.
Neither Anil's lips nor Anil's eyes showed anything. Anil did not show that he knows that he had taken this money. He did not reprimand him. He did not do anything. Because he came back. When Hari Singh came back, that itself showed that Hari Singh wanted to change. जब वो वापस आ गया, he decided to accept him and teach him and give him a better life. So this is a story of second chances. Everyone makes mistakes, but everyone deserves a second chance. There's no one who doesn't make a mistake, but we all need that second chance. So Anil decided to give a second chance to Hari Singh to have a better life, to change his life. And therefore that genuine smile. You know, you do something wrong, you feel more bad when the mother doesn't scold you. Mother scolds you, ठीक है, हाँ, बस हो गया बात खत्म. If mother doesn't scold you,
no, it's in the mind कि शायद अब कुछ बड़ा आ गया.
बड़ा आने वाला वाले you feel very bad. You get hurt more, you feel sad more, you regret it more.
That's what my mother does. Says nothing about it, just gives you a look.
Just remember, the story is about second chances. Okay? We'll do the question answers. Yeah?
So Hari returned because he became attached to Anil.
Hari returned. See, there are many things. Hari returned because he was attached. Plus, Anil had given him a hope of having a better life. He would have taken 600 rupees, gone, spent money, lived on back again on the street. Went ahead again must have gone for the new owner. Work for somebody else. Now every house will not be as pleasant place to work. Some will be very strict, some will make him work a lot. And it was an easygoing person, single man living there. He didn't have to do much probably. On top, he was also learning to read and write and किसने
जैसे कि हम जिस street पे चले ना right पे चोरी करते हैं कभी इतना
he used to go to different cities, no? See, most of Ruskin Bond stories take place in Dehradun or Mussoorie, in that area. Now he was definitely in Mussoorie or Dehradun and this character, and he planned to go to Lucknow from there. So वो एक ही जगह नहीं रहता था. He used to take a new name every month. He used to be in a different place every month, so that they don't get caught. Any doubt? Yeah. It's okay. Ask. I'm here to solve your doubts.
मैम मुझे बात करनी थी अगर वो इतना पकड़ाया है पुलिस को पकड़ाया है मैम तो मैम उसका आर्ट तो किया है ना मैम आर्ट फोटो तो मैम जैसे कि अगली बार चोरी कर सके तो प्रिंट करके डाल सके इससे चोरी है
तो चोरी करके वो लोग अगर वो लखनऊ में चोरी की उसने तो वो उसका फोटो रहेगा लखनऊ के पुलिस स्टेशन. अगर वो आ गया मुंबई तो यू सी मुंबई सो गई और वहां पे पुलिस स्टेशन क्या सब जगह थोड़ी ना एक चोरी के लिए. See, he was a petty thief. He was a petty thief.
Most of the crimes wouldn't even get reported.
Yeah, he was a petty thief. कहीं से चलो 500 रुपए उठा लिए तो 500 रुपए उठा लिए तो you might not even go to the police station to report, right? So अब अगर आज के जमाने में किसी ने 5000 रुपए उठा लिए तो तुम पहले अपने धरले ढूंढोगे फिर कहीं और ढूंढोगे फिर सबको पूछोगे. You might go and report to the police, but you may not even go and report to the police. तुम अपने कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोलोगे भाई इसको फिर से जॉब पे मत रखना इसने मेरे घर पे चोरी करके ये भागा हो.
पुलिस सेक्रेटरी वाले को नहीं पकड़ रहे हो 5,000 रुपए भागा हुआ है क्या 500 वाले को पकड़ रहे हो
क्योंकि वो मर गया इसलिए नहीं पकड़ रहे. वो 5,000 वाले को पकड़ेंगे क्योंकि वो इजी टारगेट है. We always go for easy target. We don't go for difficult target. क्या?
मेरा फोन है
They are not. They are difficult targets. Yeah, so these are difficult targets. So we don't go for difficult targets. We always go for the easy target. तो 5,000 वाला जरूर पकड़ा जाएगा. लेकिन 50,000 करोड़ वाला Do we have do you have the book?
Yes.
Volume, the third volume we got.
Volume?
UT.
Third volume we got. Third volume is got.
but we did
Yes,
not
these two did it for. These two did it for.
These two did not?
Yes.
Yes.
No mention
These two did not get. They gave up present tense.
वही तो present है. God तो past tense. तो आता ही इतना इंग्लिश.
Did
because of some people
Get.
Did
not get.
Did not get.
What? Please.
Did not get.
I'm can we please can we go out and ask her?
Yeah. No.
So
There's only one volume.
For this book, yes.
Will you get one for me also?
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
तो ऊपर से आराम से खोल.
I'll ask objective questions.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Each one. What? Yeah?
Which one?
Volume 3 na?
Here's a pencil.
That you will mark.
Here's a pencil.
Should I start with Nikun? Mukun?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
नहीं
नहीं मैं क्वेश्चन पूछूंगी तुम आंसर दे ओके had you haven't got from UP? I'll ask the question orally. Here. Had not done anything in my line of work. What was the narrator's line of work? Thievery, shoe polishing, dry cleaning,
Option A.
water, shoe polishing, dry cleaning, thievery, motor mechanic. Option A, shoe polishing. One minute. You give this answer. I'll ask him the second one because you said A and he's, I think, is stuck with A. 1 minute. Yeah. Had not done anything in my line of work. What was the narrator's line of? Okay. Why had Anil given the key of his room to the narrator? So that he could easily rob, as Anil trusted him, so that he could bring his friends, and Anil wanted to catch him red-handed. According to the narrator, if he couldn't steal the money, Anil would donate it, waste it, misplace it, lend it.
Put a search operation for the yes.
I'll repeat the question for you.
Yes. You also no. I'm asking question what is it?
Yeah, I'm asking questions over here.
Oh, yeah.
Why had Anil given the key of his room to the narrator? If you have, you can mark no. Mark no, I'm already asking you. You got the question? So that he could get easily robbed, so that he could bring his friends along, as Anil trusted him, as Anil wanted to catch him red-handed.
What scene? What of them is?
Yes.
According to the narrator, if he wouldn't steal the money, Anil would donate it, waste it,
Celebrate it.
misplace it, lend it.
Lend it.
Waste it.
You said
He said he would spend it on his friends.
He would waste it on his friends is the word.
Yeah, it is there.
you said you will lend.
One day he would borrow, the other day he would lend. But the question is, if he wouldn't steal the money, then what he would do? The money based on his friends. Waste. Yeah.
Argue in English.
Why didn't Anil pay the narrator? Anil received money. Why didn't Anil pay the narrator? Anil was moody, Anil was a miser, Anil exploited the narrator, Anil received money in the yeah. Why was it difficult to rob Anil? Let me ask him.
You.
What's his name?
Ma'am, may I?
No, not you.
Why was it difficult to rob Anil? Anil was trusting and forgiving. Anil would complain to the police. Anil was vigilant. Anil was a greedy person.
Anil was trusty and forgiving person.
Okay, next.
Yes, ma'am.
Why would he teach the narrator to cook? He wanted to make him a chef. The narrator lied that he knew to cook but failed. The narrator was to participate in a cooking competition. He wanted to train him to make his permanent cook.
Not C, it's B.
The narrator lied that he knew to cook but failed.
It's not C.
I was
Yeah, water.
grateful.
You are.
What was the narrator grateful for? Anil taught him many things. Anil wanted to make him a clever thief. Narrator gave Anil's confidence. Narrator wanted a shelter.
Ask me another question. She answered it.
Give me the chance.
The narrator thought after being educated, he would achieve great success.
Then the next one.
It was quite pleasant for Anil. Narrator acted a skillful work. Narrator received a good salary for work. Narrator learned to cook from Anil. C.
Yes. You did? Once again. Let's it for yes.
जय भारत।
दस आपको मिला है, आप उसको आप घर पे चेक करो। इंग्लिश रीड वाला बोलो आपके घर पे।
दो ही बोल सकते हैं।
टेस्ट में देखा है।
Yes.
हमने आपने शायद ऐसे टिक कर दिया होगा। मैं हमारी बात
एक काम करो,
Which number?
नंबर लेके जाना। और फिर सैटरडे से शरद भैया को कंफर्म करके बताना।
हाँ, उस लड़के ने we have a problem कहीं भी हो सकते हैं।
Who are you talking to? Why?
Because he's asking nonsense questions.
Not to you, right?
He's
asking me for me.
No. Who's talking to Rekha Mills?
One of the
No,
one.
it is not. Okay, you were saying something. You were giving me the fifth answer? Yeah. Anil not mind the way. Why did Anil not mind the way the narrator made profit from him? Okay, Anil was generous and funny. I'll give you two questions to write. Do you all have your notebooks now?
Yes, notebook I have.
I'll give you two questions to write. Okay.
Right now, do you have to write?
Yes, right now. And you can write open it.
Yes, please. Board. Okay, James Bond.
No, James Bond.
You was yes.
You have to ask me the name of the author.
He said James Bond. अब आते बहुत brother.
Ruskin Bond and James Bond. मैं James Bond को exist ही नहीं करता। Fiction character
Yeah, it's a fictional character.
बोला।
It's a fictional characters.
No.
Yes.
James. He does not dream about it.
Shit. JC company.
Power.
I don't know what to talk.
Not at all. Please.
मेरे बैग पीछे वाली पॉकेट के पीछे
दिखते ही नहीं होगा तो प्रॉब्लम हो रही है।
Sir, ma'am, page number.
I'll give you the question.
क्या part ये सब part gap part extra नो मेरे दो दांत ले जा
Now, start writing.
इससे दो लाख का
JC का one time
shouting.
Shouty boy.
At the same thing.
I do nothing.
What is your different? Sorry.
These boys are irritating me.
Eh, no. But don't disturb first. Sarah. Sarah. Not Sarah.
Everyone spits now.
Sarah. No pain.
Who did
You
no,
need
that is right.
Who did this?
No, that's
Their story.
Have your book started writing? What was Anil doing when he met Hari Singh? Watching a wrestling match. It was not vice versa. He was watching a wrestling match.
Yes. See.
Read the question carefully.
Story.
Are you writing the answers? तुम मतलब कितनी जगह चेंज करोगे बोलो? नहीं, this is my place actually. I need this place.
मतलब देख के रहता लाइट पे ना फीलिंग है
अच्छा, I'll use the dark pen. Dark pen.
She will copy you copy.
Yeah, you both can do that. What are you going to do?
It's reading up.
That's so complicated.
What's next?
Animal. That's so bad.
When he was he told me that he will teach him to write.
1 minute. Just write these questions. I discuss the answers. 1 minute. I'm just thinking which next. What should be the next question?
I'll do like this.
उसको शांत करने के लिए सिर्फ भैया बोल लेगा भैया
Okay, Didi. ऐसा बोल रहा है आजकल। 1000 रुपए तो खा के बैठा है।
Which language you spoke?
You ate my 1000 rupees and not returning them.
बात ही कर लेते nice
100,000. Sorry.
100 not into 100,000 rupees from other is not giving.
Yes. 100 rupees and
giving money for okay give it back let's just say wow you don't see only four
What was Anil?
I told you.
Top, not having to explain, but top your leadership. Your. I'm grateful.
1 minute. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Name of the lesson is Thief Story, no?
Yes, a thief story. The name says it says the
So, let's see.
no one.
And please for very short. And it is good.
It's I will give the 100 but
I was poking me.
but this
Yeah.
100 rupees
Oh.
per shot.
And
Good,
it's-
Jessica.
I'm calculating lower.
Hey, not bad. Fun.
Hey, what is this?
He thinks something different. Me also. You know, plus when someone says yeah. Not when
Okay, now that you are talking so much, I think you all have written the question and answers everything. You please sit there. This is, or you sit on the second bench. This is too close for you.
Yes, come here.
Now I'm used to moving my hands.
No.
This is it. Now, what was Anil doing when he met Hari?
Watching wrestling. No, Anil was watching wrestling match when Hari Singh met.
Then Hari came across Anil. He was watching a wrestling match.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He was watching a wrestling match when he met Hari Singh for the first time.
Now you know what? You will never begin the sentence with he.
I don't know when Hari Singh came across.
Yeah. So, please, pay attention. You will never begin a sentence with he. He was watching a wrestling match. Who he? Whenever you start with a sentence, first give the name of the person and then write he.
Anil was watching.
Yes, a wrestling match. Why was Hari Singh grateful to Anil?
Because
No. Now, raise your hand if you know the answer. You have already given one. You have already given one.
Which one?
Which one? Not now.
Which one?
Give.
And because Anil Hari Singh was grateful of Anil because he gave him a shelter and he taught him how to read, write his name, and he even told him that he would teach how to write sentences in future. He taught him to cook. Can you please stop moving your hand?
Oh, nonsense! You moved my entire book. I was going to stab it with a pencil
He
next
even
to
taught him how to cook food and make tea.
Okay. It's fine. More or less you covered everything. You talked about the numbers also.
Even how to write.
See, wrong answer. Invalid.
So you will write everything. He gave him a place to stay. He taught him to cook. He taught him to write his name. He promised him to teach him to write whole sentences and add numbers.
Next answer.
Okay. Your turn is done.
Ma'am, this is
Write the answer. This is not cheating. You gave one answer. There are others who would like to give the other answers.
Others.
In which queer way did Anil make a living? Okay.
Anil made a living.
Anil made.
A living out of when he used to write for magazines and publishes a book.
Okay. Anil earned money by writing for the magazine. He also wrote a book and sold it to a publisher. So write two different sentences.
Ma'am, but it had asked queer way, right?
Yeah,
Queer
queer.
way. So the queer way will only be writing for magazines, not publishing the book.
For the queer way, it was a queer way for Hari Singh.
No, ma'am, it was square way.
Can you please shut up? I'm asking something.
I have 1 minute. You don't have to be so aggressive every time.
You make me.
Exactly. And the
I don't want to
issues.
beat you. Yes, ma'am. Because like in the chapter it's given, because he wrote, Anil wrote for magazines, therefore it was a queer way.
According to Hari Singh, it was a queer way. Hari Singh को पता नहीं था भाई लिखता कौन है magazines के लिए.
So why when selling a book is operation?
Even that could be book लिख के कोई पैसा कमाना. No, it is not a clear way for human beings.
He stated that.
So then you only write for the publish. I mean for the magazine. You had something to say?
No, ma'am, what to say now?
No one asked.
This kind of bhaiya gets very angry. This kind of bhaiya gets very angry.
I'm his elder brother. He's
Everyone.
Everyone's elder brother.
Everyone's.
Yeah, so bad people thinking so bad things.
Anything.
Next answer.
Topic change.
इसके दिन भरने लगा है.
Come to
Come to Jaipuria ground after this lecture.
Have you told us? Mom, can you please repeat the third answer?
I'm not.
Mom, I'll punch him square in the face if he says
Right.
anything again.
Right, this is where.
Third answer.
Is it the book or is it the magazine?
Both.
And
Because he said it's a queer way about
Ma'am,
the
anyone.
magazine.
That's only I said.
yeah, he was arguing on that only that it was magazine. So you stick to
It
magazine.
wasn't.
But even selling a book to publisher is something unique for Alice. So write about the magazine. Should I go to the fourth question?
I'm just a minute.
Can you repeat that part?
The third one. In which queer way did Anil make a living? Anil earned money by writing for the magazine. That was a queer way of earning money according to Haris.
Ma'am, they didn't
Just again I'm telling.
move it was a cruel way.
Yeah, but right no, थोड़ा additional लिखा तो क्या होगा?
So
Write short sentences. 1.5 hours is done.
Mom, can we note down?
2 minutes exact ज़्यादा ही हो गए. Why was it difficult for Hari Singh to rob Anil?
Because, ma'am,
Ma'am, because Anil was a very kind and trustful person, and he even gave us shelter to Hari
Then you will write all, huh? He gave him food, he gave him
taught
thought.
him to write a sentence, book and adding numbers, and it was difficult for Hari Singh to rob Anil.
So उसने ये सारा सिखाया, plus he was a very trusting person, charming person. Why did Hari Singh change his name every month?
This Shubham will give answer.
Yes.
this show.
So police can catch him.
Can't catch.
Hari Singh changed his name every month in order to remain safe
And be ahead of police.
from police and his
Former
employers.
Even friends.
former employee. His friend.
उसके friends से मेरे friend हैं जैसे
आगे ले यार ये सब पता तो इसके अभी वो कल करेगा tell you.
No, I
Brother.
don't.
elder brother.
Elder brother, no, I'll tell you what is
Elder brother. You are
What is
अरे मैं elder brother.
Okay,
अरे मैं elder brother. ये Vitika, you don't want this pen?
Give it back.
Thank you.
Give those books back to Miss.
Hi, where you can then book over there.
You also going home?
I
I will
will
miss
Right?
No, this both. Yeah,
Hey, your book.
These both. These two. You both.
हमारे थोड़ी लाइन नहीं है.
this
I'm not talking to
room
you.
outside. You're talking. Thank you.
तुझे ये मेरा अपनी बात कॉपी करी है सही है
Finally.
आज कोड लैंग्वेज
Bye.
मुझे यार जॉब क्यों
करते यार. Thank you.
मैम
Yes.
Bye.
Please. Anything else?
कैसे
You are waiting for your Hindi class.
Look, they are lying for us. They are lying.
बैग ड्रिप्स का वो बार बार आगे पीछे करिए बैग ड्रिप्स क्यों बैठो शांति से नेक्स्ट के साथ मैं नहीं बोल रही बाय तूने क्यों नहीं हिंदी है मैं क्यों बोलूं बाय नहीं हिंदी का मैं नहीं यार I incredibly appreciate your very technique of your Marathi ka we don't have a choice between Marathi and Hindi. What?
Hey Batman.
We don't have a choice between Marathi and Hindi. We have a choice.
You again came. Time pass. Test.
Ma'am, मैं Spider-Man हूँ.
अभी जाएगा हो गया मिलके अभी निकलो हिंदी के लिए कौन कौन है
ये लड़की छाप के भी घर नहीं जा सकती.
दक्ष टेस्ट सीरीज और ये हाँ बाप रे कल क्या है
मुझे भी.
हाँ?
अरे I don't touch.
इतना बड़ा दोस्त था ना
मुझे तो बंद ही किया कर. राइट में आता है मेरे को. Oh, not Spider-Man, Batman. Hey, yo, Batman.
I have brownies.
lunch Hey, stay with me. Nice to meet.
क्या खा रहा है मुझे भी चाहिए भाई.
सबको मिलेगा ना अरे 10 को भी मिलेगा सबको.
अरे तुम सुन मेरे को
समझ क्या क्यों दिया तूने उनको डिसिप्लिन है खाने का बिल्कुल नहीं है
इसलिए मैं लंबा उड़ाना ना जाना मैं
बाहर करके लिखती हूँ.
तो सब हिंदी में
मुझे निकाल क्यों नहीं
दिखेगा रामा वर्कर
क्या क्या खाने का
कल इसको मार
देखो इसे दोस्त बनाने की
जाओ जाओ
बना
बाय गाइस हैव अ ग्रेट डे
कल अकेला क्या मैं इसी के तो साथ में
हेलो फ्रेंड्स
हेल्प किया उसको इतना मैंने हेल्प
हेलो फ्रेंड्स
कॉलेज से आया
मित्र मंडळी तुम्ही काय करता आता घरी
सोळा ढोल गिरे वाली
सोळा कसं
प्लीज तो दे सोळा सोळा का 500 मिले सोळा
भाई मैं यहाँ पे मेरी
कैसे देती है मुझे शुगर बेबी बनना है
अबे परी है अभी सब लोग आने वाले हैं
क्यों?
परी नहीं है हिंदी
पैसे बहुत
मेरी मैच है
699 6 नंबर
लोग 13 रुपए अरे ये उल्टी का मैं तेरे को वापस दे दूंगा पक्का जीपे करूंगा जीपे
मैं जीपे का स्कैम किया लोगों के साथ
हाँ।
तेरे भाई के
क्या क्या
सो टिकटॉक दिखाया उसने मुझे टिकटॉक दिखाया क्या किया उसने बैटिंग किया था किसी और के पैसे पे और मैं ओ शिट गली में था
होगा बिल्कुल
तो इतने कंफर्टेबली सुन भी रहे हैं
मेरे को क्या नहीं लगा
वो तीन पैकेट होते हैं ना उससे उससे ज्यादा नहीं as long as I'm
यार मुझे पता है अब पे है हाँ पे है मुझे पता नहीं
आज सुबह ही खाया था ये
अब पे है
तेरा नहीं तेरा
तो 10 रुपए दे
20 रुपए
100 दे दो ये तो ले लेंगे
मुझे छुट्टा करा मतलब
क्या करें
रुपए है
क्या
13 रुपए है तेरा
मेरे पास 50 है बस
ऑटो से जाऊंगा ना हाँ 13 रुपए है ऑटो से जाते ऑटो से जाते भाई फुल लग्जरी ये लोग दे रहे हैं ना पैसे
खुद तो नहीं आ रहा है
मैं इधर सारे वॉलेट घर पे भूल गया
वॉलेट है भी तेरे पास
हाँ
उसमें पैसे नहीं देते झूठ मत बोल
सारे के पैसे
सारा के पैसे उसमें क्यों एक्चुअली हाँ मैं भी स्पेंड करती हूँ बट नहीं तेरी शक्ल देख के कौन मुझे पैसे दे रहा है बेचारी सारा
डेट कम किया 7 महीने से नाम बता
I have been asked out multiple times मुझे बस पसंद नहीं है
Are you sure?
क्या हुआ फाइनल कौन था सिर्फ गाड़ी वाला
तो बैठा है पर नहीं ले रही मैं क्या करूं
एक आध बहुत 20 रुपए को टोपी शुक्ला वाला क्या
20 रुपए
20 रुपए मैंने उसके मुंह में फेंक के मारे
मैं छुट्टा करवा लूंगा ना
है उसके
एक जगह तो फिर क्या मैंने सिर्फ नजर तो
अरे मानते हैं उसको
है ना,
पैसे
बस।
उसने बातों बातों रखते
ये तुमको मिलना है
इससे दे दूंगी पैसे क्लास से बाद
हाँ पक्का
किससे मिलना है गंदे दिखने वाले लोगों से
तू बोल रही है
अरे तू you literally look like a lamp post that hasn't been working for 3 months बाल
लेकिन मैंने क्यों
इसलिए थोड़ा सा स्टोरी डाला तू भैया बोला
क्या
तू किसको भैया बोला
बाय बाय
अब आपका तो लगा सीधा जब मैं सब रोज से पढ़े थी मैं रो रही थी या तुम्हारे मुझको बोली तो पता नहीं कुछ नहीं हाँ कंटिन्यू किया
मैं चलिए कोई सुन
ये वाला है
हाँ तो ये कंटिन्यू किया
मेरी किसने नहीं बोलती
मैं ये मैसेज कर रही थी
हां हां
जब चुप करता
क्लास से साजी तू कधी आफ्टर लेक्चर ना हां आपला मार्ग निघाला नाही निघाला नाही कशाला बोलतो
मेरे पास लाइफ है तो अच्छा है या फिर देखो कौन सा ही नहीं चाहिए
भाई
बचपन से
वैसा भाई नहीं
ऐसा नहीं लोगे और ये लोग भव्य जाने सालती और ये लोग जाने
मिस कर रहा है
नहीं भव्य को बाद में करता सिगरेट का दारू पीता हमको लगता है दारू पीता है सारा पानी करता है वेव कूदता है वो लोग कसम 3 वेव पे उसके बस बहुत से ज्यादा है उससे ज्यादा है 12 इस एक बार पकड़ा भी गया ऐसे वेव को नहीं
नक्शा पकड़ा गया
संजय पकड़ा गया
उसकी माँ ने उसका गाली फेंक दिया था
तो कहाँ पेंटाउन में बेच रही थी
फेंक दिया कचरे में वो रो रहा था पकड़ के
किसका गांजा फेंक दिया उसको घर पे ऐसा रहने देते हैं उसको वॉचमैन के कैबिन में भेज दिया पता है मुझे वॉचमैन के टीम के डब्बे में सोया है वो एक बार अदम बोलते हैं वॉचमैन के टीम में डब्बा उसको डेट नहीं किया
उसके कारण वॉचमैन मेरे को भी जानने लग गए उसका भाई है ना वो सोता रहता है इधर मेरे को कसम से बोला सुन मेरे को कसम से बोला कि तू क्या चाय पिएगी रात को भाई मैं नीचे
सब भर देगा
उसने बोला
मेरे दो
ये लिखन कर रहे
क्या 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 सबको एक है पर बाकी लोग के लिए
लिखन किया
मैंने
कौन सा
इससे कम मार्क्स की वजह से निकाला
मुझे पता है
सबको पता है मैंने नहीं पता
तो मैं मंदिर में जाता हूँ
कौमा को इसका मैंने निकाला गया इसको वॉचमैन की टीम
ए वो तो
मेरा डाइट को मेरा डाइट को My bad.
तू नको बस एक से आ रही है आम्ही दोघा फसणार नंतर
खूपच
पूरा दिन फोन में बात कर तो फर्स्ट का एसी बंद फैन
सब
फैन चला
दोनों में आपको I need my dose of caffeine.
सब फुल
वही कॉफी में
ये फुल
तो तू खुद बनाया
हाँ,
हाँ तो बन ऐसी
चार भाई हैं घर में क्यों खुद बनाओ कुछ बात नहीं क्यों बस
मेरे घर में 4 भाई है
कोई कुछ बात नहीं क्यों करते I don't know what they're getting paid for.
एक रस्ते पे और तेरा क्या पड़ता है उसी का एक पता नहीं
मेरी
कैसे
शिफ्ट में आ गया मेरी चार भाई को चार शिफ्ट करती
और हाँ एक कैरेट सब
अबे तेरी मम्मी के घर में यार
अभी लोग मेले में करते हैं नया चीज वो रिंग वाला वो वाली बना के वो घूमता है ना क्या वही छोटी
गुजरात में किया था।
लाल साड़ी पे मारा ही नहीं बीच को भी ऐसे किया अच्छा ये हाथ देख तेरा
बैठे सब फैमिली मतलब वो और मतलब बैठे को
देखता हूँ ना एक्सप्लेन में
ये मुझे पता नहीं क्या एक कैमरा यूज होता है
नहीं होता वो
नहीं
अरे बट प्लान को कैसे एक्सेस मिला कैमरा का वो एक्सेस वाला कैमरा भी नहीं मैं तो ध्यान दूसरा दे दिया और इनसे सीखो दो करना इसमें भी करके दो करना होगा एक जो खराब पड़ा है वो दे दूंगा मैं को लेकर सकते थे उसे हटाने का बैठ मैं कल देंगे भाई मैम नहीं है you go to church ए डोमिनोज में बोला था हीरो शैडो की कसम आज जूती कसम खाता है जो है
मुझे पसंद है
कुछ भी ऐसे पूरी हो
भाई मैं कुत्ता मुर्गों पर क्या बोल रहा है मैं बोल कुत्ता मुर्गों पर भी लग गया अच्छा वापस लो
क्यों अपनी मां को मारा अरे नहीं सही
सही सच में
अबे करेगा डिजाइन
सच में
अरे हम लोग इधर बस स्कूटी के जरूर मेरे मेरा
गिर गया
बीच में से कूद गया वो हाईवे से चल रहा वापस चल रहा
उससे खड़ा है कुछ समझा नहीं क्या हो गया वो ऐसे खड़ा है देख रहा है और कर दो
यार
एक मिनट तो बस स्कूटी में पहुंच गया हां मैं तो वहां से
यार हिंदी में भी है
अरे हाँ हिंदी का पूछो मैं अभी बता रही हूँ ना अपने हाथ से तो कंप्लीट कर देता हूँ मैंने आंसर कंप्लीट
मैं तो नहीं भाई मैं घर जाके हो गया 1 घंटा तूने कर लिया
एक ही तो था बचते ये तुमने डाली को दिया मैं डाली को दिया बात कर यार
तो अपनी दे सतारा था सतारा अरे मैं सोचा था घर जाते ही वैसा सो गया मैं फोन देख रहा था ब्रेक
That's why.
एक सुधारे इंग्लिश
Has a class 5, 6, 5, 3, yes. We don't have to do all the formulas. Last year, 6, 5, 0, 5. Good. So the thing is, his face is funny. What's happening?
आज वो का मेरे गुस्सा आ रहा है उधर हमारे क्या हाँ लगा है इधर से पूरा जो वाइट में लगा है उसका क्या होगी मेरा पूरा टी-शर्ट ब्लैक तो वो छोटी सी वाइट में लगा है वो 10 तो यार कि वो टी-शर्ट बोल रहा है टी-शर्ट और फिर कल पहले से लेकर आपको 10 तक ऐसा भागे जा रहा है उसी पीछे हल्का हल्का क्या भागा अल्टीमेट से कुछ नहीं भागा ही क्या प्रेशर आ रहा है अरे वो कप मार अभी तनु कोर्ट मारेगा फिर से पटे सर प्लीज मार रहा अरे मैंने दक्षिण आया था
दीदी के लिए
अरे बट दीदी ने उसको इग्नोर कर क्या होता है हमारे मैं को बोला साइड पे वो बोला उसको सुन
नहीं वेरी ऑल
वो तो सब कुछ नहीं करती है ऐसे मैं सब सी लो चलो चलिए ओके
ये रिकॉर्डिंग होते हैं
या सॉरी चुपचाप खेल रहा हूं देख वो मार वाला भी है वो नंबर पर चीज होता है
चिड़िया और
चल अभी एक और फटाफट
जल्दी चिड़िया उड़ तोता उड़ टीचर उड़
3 4 7
मैं तो सब
अरे यार
3 4 7
मैं बोला रेडी नेक्स्ट
अच्छे से खेल रहा हूं अभी किसी
ये आपका बैग नीचे क्यों नहीं आता है आगे की मोड में हमेशा रहते हो क्या बस मौका नहीं मिले और आपको मैंने इनवाइट नहीं किया दावत नहीं दिया आ जाओ बैठ कर आ दूंगी अलग अलग बैठो 175 अरे
आप इकडे पाय टाकतो तिकडे राईट स्विंग नाही हे बेंच I'm only good boy.
और आप अलग अलग
मैम मैं आता हूं
जल्दी उठ और वो दोनों आज नहीं आए अभी चालीस नहीं आए और अच्छा है मतलब प्रोलो आएंगे साइड में देख क्या पता लगता है
ये गंगा किसने किया दीदी का कौन था मुझे होगा उधर पे सो बैठ गया मां उसी का
मैं तो साइड हूं
उसी का पानी उसको पीता है तो गिरा था
मैम कैंपा
लास्ट लेक्चर क्या क्या
मैम हमने तातारा
क्वेश्चन आंसर्स पूरे नहीं करके
ये वाला नहीं था
मैम ने ये दिया क्या क्या फैन और
मैम मैं लाऊं इसी
हां एक
अरे मैंने कंप्लीट नहीं किया था मुझे लिखना
ये क्वेश्चन आंसर्स पूरे नहीं हुए थे या क्या था ए आप उधर आ जाओ तू यहाँ बैठ इधर
अरे योग तो हुए नहीं
चलो कुछ हो नहीं
मैं किसी की
तू यहाँ पे नहीं तो यहाँ पे तुझे अच्छे से ऐसे दे दूँ मैं उठ वहाँ से।
क्वेश्चन आंसर पूरे हुए हैं कि नहीं?
तू मैंने कर दिया एक क्वेश्चन हाँ
आप लोग का भी हो गया है?
मेरे दो
क्वेश्चन आंसर हो गए हैं? हाँ, होमवर्क में दिया था ना, क्लास में क्या करना था? शिफ्ट हो।
मैम बोर्ड
क्यों नहीं दिखेगा बोर्ड इतना
होमवर्क कंप्लीट है आपका? क्या क्वेश्चन है ये यहाँ पे बैठे हैं?
मैं तो अकेला बैठा हूँ।
पूरा
तू वहाँ पे ये शिफ्ट क्या है? नहीं स्किप नहीं हुआ इसमें आपने
ना इसकी
ना कैसे स्किप हो गया? क्या खा पी के बैठे थे? हाँ? सो के उठे थे तो इतनी आप बंद हो गई थी मुझे पेज चल रही थी एक होता तो समझ में आता।
बड़े भाई साहब
कर दिए पूरे हो गए पूरे तो नहीं
ये एक ही बात
हाँ ये तो बाकी तो है
वो दादा रवानी
वो तो कर दोगे। ये क्या है ये बीच बीच में पेज क्यों छूटा हुआ है?
कौन सा
क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट नहीं है भाई एक तरीके से करो ताकि मुझे भी समझ में आए इस तरह से पूछ के मत करो। अब एक साथ चेक करूंगी अनुच्छेद भी किया है सबने?
क्लास में जो कराया था वो क्या है वो क्लास में नहीं क्लास का
होमवर्क भी दिया था ना इंटरनेट एक संचार क्रांति मेरे को नहीं पता था मैंने भी कहा था कि आप लोग के काम किधर थे? मैम मैंने होमवर्क मेरे को याद था मैंने किया
कंप्लीट किया क्वेश्चन वो नहीं पता
कैसे दिमाग हो गया मेरा सारा
वॉल्यूम में देखती हूँ मैंने लिखा है कि नहीं
मैंने उसमें ये जो मैंने दिया है शायद 19 नंबर था और वो 17 आपने यहाँ पे किया था ऐसा ही कुछ
हाँ वो हो रहा है
कर रहे हैं
एनी
कर रहे हैं। आज डेट क्या है?
16
आज कुछ कराने के लिए बोला था?
नहीं मैम
ओ आज क्या बैठाने के लिए बोला था?
एक ग्रामर बोला था
बैठ जाओ ये बोला था आ जाना बैठ जा। हाँ पदबंध ही करना है ग्रामर करना है ग्रामर में पदबंध ही करना है।
हम बुक में लिखा हमारे ये रिकॉर्डिंग
ग्रामर कैसे उसमें नहीं है ना ग्रामर सिर्फ वॉल्यूम ही है। आपके स्कूल की बुक होगी तो मुझे पता नहीं लेकिन मैं उसमें टेक्स्ट बुक ऐसा है आपका इसमें है एनसीईआरटी की बुक उसमें वैसा। चल अब यहाँ पर आज हम लोग जो लोग इंटरनेट एक संचार क्रांति आप लोगों ने होमवर्क में नहीं किया है वो कर लेंगे ठीक है? क्यों जहाँ जो बैठा है मैंने लास्ट लेक्चर मैं जब बता के भेजती हूँ कि नेक्स्ट लेक्चर ये पढ़ाऊंगी तब क्यों नहीं रहता? मैं चेंज कर दूं तो मैं बोलूंगी हट के आके बैठ जाओ मेरी गलती है आ जाओ लेकिन मैंने बोला था ना नेक्स्ट लेक्चर ग्रामर ही करेंगे फिर कैसे भूल जाते हो? आपके पास भी नहीं
क्या
वॉल्यूम 2 है वॉल्यूम 2 में है ग्रामर वॉल्यूम 2 है कि 1 है बताइए। किसके किसके पास वॉल्यूम 2 है?
ट्रू है? तब क्या इतनी देर से बैठे हो भाई
नहीं
साहब?
मैम, वो वॉर्डन 1 के लिए मना किया उसने।
ओवर स्मार्ट, स्मार्ट नहीं ओवर स्मार्ट। चलो अब ये बताओ, 9th में आप लोगों ने शब्द और पद पढ़ा था ना? शब्द किसे कहते हैं?
मैम वर्णों के को वर्णों के साथ बैठो।
अभी बैठो, जब मैं बोलूंगी तब बैठना, वैसे मैं लिखाऊंगी तो आपको बैठना।
वर्णों के साथ दो शब्द।
हाँ, वर्णों के सार्थक मेल को शब्द कहते हैं। जैसे मैंने पढ़ाया था, जो लोग 9th में थे, कि इसका कोई मतलब है नहीं ना, कोई मतलब नहीं, तो ये कोई शब्द नहीं है, इसको शब्द नहीं बोलेंगे। लेकिन अगर इसी जगह, तो इसका कोई अर्थ है ना? तो इस तरह से ये हमारा शब्द है। अब शब्द क्या होता है? शब्द स्वतंत्र होता है, ठीक है, वो अपने आप में स्वतंत्र होता है। वो कुछ भी, शब्द में कोई भी शब्द हो सकता है। और पद किसे कहते हैं? कोई भी शब्द जब वाक्य में प्रयुक्त होता है विभक्तियों के साथ, तब वो हमारा पद बन जाता है। जैसे मान लीजिए यहाँ पर है मोहन, आगरा। अब ये क्या अपने आप में स्वतंत्र है? ये क्या है? शब्द है, ये अपने आप में स्वतंत्र है, ठीक है, ये सारे शब्द हैं। और इसके बाद अगर इसी को हम अब ये हमारा, ये मोहन क्या यहाँ पर फ्री है, मतलब स्वतंत्र है, तो ये हमारा शब्द है। लेकिन जब यही वाक्य में प्रयुक्त हो गया तो ये क्या बन गया? पद बन गया, ठीक है। तो शब्द और पद तो आप लोगों ने 9th में भी पढ़ा है। अब हम लोगों को पढ़ना है पदबंध। इसी तरह से पदबंध क्या होता है? वो कई शब्दों के, कई पदों के मेल से जो बनता है उसको हम पदबंध कहते हैं। वो पहचानने में आपको समझ में आता है कि कहाँ तक वो बंधी हुई इकाई है। जैसे मान लो यहाँ पर आपको बंधी हुई इकाई कहाँ तक लग रही है? या कहाँ तक आपको लग रहा है कि यहाँ तक शब्द एक साथ हो सकता है? नहीं समझ रहा। देखो, वन को गए ये तो अलग हो गया, लेकिन दशरथ पुत्र राम क्या है?